Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode of the Weekly Compass, we're going to take a look at the energy and the numerology for April 12th through the 18th, 2021. This, of course, is a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. Okay, so the numerology for this week, we start the week off with 12-3 energy. So during this cycle, you may find that you encounter some unique experiences at this time. And these unique experiences are allowing you to grow, to expand in a way that may be new for you or that you've never experienced before. So this is a time when illusions can be deceiving, and the only way to know the truth of the matter is to choose to face the experience head on and to move through it step by step. So you may feel like you're sort of walking through a fun house, like at an amusement park, or a house of mirrors during this time. It can feel a little disorienting. So finding and maintaining your center will really help you during this time. Find a way to find and maintain that center to help you through it, okay? So again, things just may not seem or may not be as they appear at this time, right? Like what you see may not be what you get during this 12-3 energy. So just kind of, just be alert, be aware, and again, find your center, because that grounding yourself and finding your center is really going to help you move through this energy. And it's not a bad energy. It's just, like I said, sort of can be a little disoriented if you're not grounded. So then at the end of the week, we move into an energy of that 18-9. And so during this cycle, things may feel very busy or hectic at this time. So you'll need to, again, find your balance while getting done what needs to be done, okay? This is also a time when intuitive insights will be heightened. So trust your hunches and your impressions about people and situations at this time, because they're most likely going to be accurate, okay? So this can also be a time for sort of active and vibrant dreams. Pay attention to your dreams, especially during this cycle, because oftentimes there's messages incorporated into those dreams, and we can easily miss them if we disregard those dreams, or if we aren't active on maybe writing them down when we wake up, or sort of diving in a little bit more deeply into the dreams to see what message they may hold. We spend almost half of our lifetime in the dream world. And so it would be sort of ignorant to believe that there's not messages to be explored there. I do offer Dreamwork as one of my services. So if that's something that you're interested in diving more deeply into, just book some time with me and we can explore together. I'd love to work with you on that. But yeah, so this 18-9 energy, just gonna feel sort of hectic, sort of busy, kind of like there's not enough hours in the day type thing. And so it's gonna be up to you to be able to sort of manage your time in a way that feels good and healthy for you, okay? And even that sense of that feeling of sort of busyness, or in some cases chaos, can translate into or bleed into that dream world as well. So kind of an active time during this 18-9 energy. Okay, so looking at the energies for the week, they do of course mimic the numerology quite well. We start the week off with, it's interesting, I'm sort of getting the sense of like that devil's advocate energy. So it's like you see something or you believe something, and then something challenges that. Something or someone challenges that belief or that value, and you're sort of forced to take a closer look. It could be, of course, that you take a closer look and you still feel very steadfast in that belief or that value, and that's fine. But I think that this is just going to be a time where, again, it's like what you see isn't what you get, and things aren't always as they appear to be. There's often much more behind the surface. So this is going to be a time where it's like not necessarily where you're going to get a lot of your answers in the physical, because I feel like the physical may show you one thing, but how you feel may show you something different. And this is going to be a time where you can choose to follow the physical or you can choose to follow the internal, but the internal is going to be your greatest compass. So during this energy, again, when you kind of feel like you're in a house of mirrors and things just aren't as they seem, this is going to be a great time for really tuning into your intuition, tuning into those hunches, that gut feeling about people, things, and kind of going from that space. That's where you're going to get your truest indicator as far as it comes to what you should do and, what steps you should take. Okay, so I just get this feeling like you may feel one way, but the world or the physical plane is going to sort of force you to see something a different way type thing. It's going to, again, it's almost like the physical reality is your devil's advocate. So just really interesting energy at the beginning of the week. But yeah, so it's just really that sort of that test to say, can you go within? Can you follow your inner compass and follow what you know to be true from within? Even when the external is showing you something completely different, okay? Because remember, people aren't always completely transparent with how they feel, with, what they're doing behind the scenes. So sometimes it's like we just have to trust the energy. We have to trust that inner feeling, that inner knowing to guide us. So just kind of keep that in mind as you move through the beginning of the week this week. Midweek, we have this energy of just straightforward of if there's something that you're really holding on to really tightly or trying to control, the more that you can release that control and surrender, the happier you will be. That's the energy for midweek. It's like if there's something where you are hyper focused on it and you're trying to overly control it or dominate it, this is going to be a time where you're asked to release a little bit and to surrender and trust, because the more that you cling, the more narrow your viewpoint gets, and it's harder to see the bigger picture. So it becomes all consuming basically. So let's say it's about a relationship and you become hyper focused on that relationship and you try to control the other person so much so because you're afraid of losing them or the relationship ending or whatever the case may be, and that starts to consume you and your energy and your time. And so that becomes all encompassing. And what happens when we fall into an extreme like that is we start to see the negative things start to surface, right? Like we start to see the physical ailments, the stress, the anxiety, the worry, all of that. And so really the message is release your grip, let go. It's kind of like those things that we fear losing are always the hardest to release because we don't want to lose them. So we want to hold on to them. But I think it goes back to that old adage of if you can release it and it still sticks around, then it's meant for you. It's meant to be there. It's healthy for you. It's not toxic. But if you release it and it actually dissolves or goes away, then it was asking to be released. It needed to be released because it was toxic for you or the other person, the situation, whatever. So there's just this energy midweek of it being highlighted for you where it is that you are trying to maintain control so much so that you're missing the bigger picture and you're actually missing out. You're missing out on your own life, your own experiences, your own happiness, your own joy, because you're hyper focused on whatever this is. And so the call is just release that grip to find your happiness. Okay. It seems counterintuitive, but it's actually it's the energy of it. It's keeping the energy flowing. By releasing it, you're allowing what is meant for you to circle in and what's not meant for you to circle out. So that's midweek energy, just really kind of focusing on or highlighting for us what it is that we may be, we might have white knuckles over because we're clinging to it a little bit too strongly. End of the week, I'm seeing kind of like this chaos or this discord around resources, finances, some kind of maybe business or business partnership. So keep that in check, or it may be something that needs your attention where, it's interesting. It's kind of like this energy of discipline coming in. So really this could be chaos around or discord around resources, finances of business, very much so, or a partnership that has to do with that. And so you may need to address that. But I'm also seeing this chaos around discipline. So, or like a struggle to find discipline in some area. So an example of that would be like if you're like, okay, I want to buy a house. So I need to be more disciplined in my spending habits and saving money for this house, right? For the down payment or whatever. And then you go off and you go on a shopping spree every day and you blow through your savings. So it's kind of like counterproductive. You want to be disciplined in saving so that you can buy this house that you want, but yet you're sort of self-sabotaging that effort by overspending. So it's kind of like that energy is what I'm seeing at the end of the week. It's like, where is it that you want to be more disciplined, but you're struggling? And how can you kind of get that into check? So, and it's not like that those actions are bad necessarily. If you want to overspend, that's fine, but the consequence of that is you might not have the money for the down payment for the house, right? So it's kind of like you're sacrificing the house for the shopping spree or whatever the case may be. So it's kind of like the discipline comes in where it's like, where do you want to be more disciplined? Because you want to get the benefits out of that discipline, if that makes sense. So I'm just seeing this energy around taking a closer look at where you may be, maybe you need some additional discipline, right? You need to kind of get that a little bit more in check because it seems like it's out of balance or kind of running wild. Okay, so just an opportunity to take a closer look at that. And it doesn't necessarily have to be around money. It can be around other parts of your life where you maybe need a little bit more discipline. And that's self-discipline. That's not necessarily somebody else telling you what to do. That's you deciding what you want. And then you may have to have that self-discipline in order to get there. Okay, so this is just like that energy of tuning into that. So, and also this is going to be with that 18-9 energy, very hectic. So it can be sometimes hard to maintain that discipline when things feel hectic or chaotic. So again, it's just that finding your balance, finding your center, and keeping your focus on what it is that you want to attain, and then becoming disciplined in that area. Okay, so that's what I see this week for the energies. I hope it's a beautiful week for you all. Take care. Bye for now.